Because on the one hand, they are a great, an obvious opportunity for everybody to kind of stop what they're doing and refocus on the climate problem and check in. Uh, it drives it into the news. But in terms of the message, the details in the IPCC reports, in terms of like what an average person on the street needs to know, the overall shape of the message has not changed substantially. It's just a little bit more extreme on every measure, right? So the amount of time we have left to avoid 1.5 is shrinking and shrinking. We're not acting fast enough. We're running out of time, et cetera, et cetera. Same story from the beginning. And then concurrently, our ability, our tools that we have to address the problem continue to grow and get cheaper and more sophisticated and more available. So our power to solve the problem is rising alongside the severity of the problem. It's just applying the latter to the former that remains the problem. And it's interesting, this issue of the IPCC report, this part 3 is about mitigation. It's about solving the problem. So it's interesting. It's yet another sort of compendium of solutions, but there's also stuff I have not gotten in to read it yet. It was just released in the middle of the night, so I haven't gotten in to read it yet. But there's also some stuff in there from social scientists, I think, about okay, we've got all these solutions. We've been listing them over and over again for years. What can social science or political science tell us about how to make these things actually happen and actually make governments do the things that we keep listing as possibilities? And that's like, on the one hand, I'm glad they're addressing that subject, but on the other hand, I fear that when I look at what they come up with, it's just going to reveal what we all know, which is that no one really knows
Right.
the answer to those questions.
So before we get into